IBM Watson operates on a higher plane. It is a cut above. It is a game changer. Each IBM Watson advancement represents the successful completion of a grand challenge, including Blue Gene with its computational speed, Deep Blue with its demonstrated mastery of chess, Jeopardy with its lightning quick and accurate quiz game responses, cognitive computing, and the promise of deep semantic discovery. Cognitive systems, now the inflection point of broad, useful application. And the next challenge on the horizon, which is to pass the U.S. medical examination. The question here is whether IBM Watson could be a game-changing advancement in program acquisition, for so long an area of unmet need, and supply chain risk management assurance, now the center of risk and uncertainty in national security and global competitiveness in a shrinking, globalized world. Game-changing innovation is needed. Is IBM Watson Cloud ready to address the need? If so, how? IBM has announced what promises to be the game-changing integrating element in its cloud computing offering based on IBM's Watson cognitive computing technology, with promising application to global supply chain challenges. Some of these challenges are highlighted in the Supply Chain Risk Management Assurance Framework that focuses squarely on engineered flow control and process risk calculation. IBM Watson Cloud Computing, applied with the Supply Chain Risk Management Assurance Framework, promises consequential outcomes that address some of the next steps called for in the National Strategy for Global Supply Chain Security, specifically advancing technology, building resilient infrastructure, priority standards, improving commercial, and engaging in industry partners. How IBM Watson learns by understanding natural language through broadside ingestion of information, generating and evaluating hypotheses with confidence levels, adapting and learning by ingesting information and answering questions. These are just some of the elements involved in applying IBM Watson as a cognitive system. Is it time to conduct an IBM Watson experimental prototype on supply chain risk management assurance? IBM Watson experimental prototype involves an assertion and questions to be probed. The assertion: IBM Watson would be a game-changing advancement in program acquisition and supply chain risk management assurance. The probing questions span technology maturity, domain readiness, and implementation ease. Is IBM Watson as a cognitive system at the inflection point of useful application in program acquisition and supply chain risk management assurance? Is IBM Watson a game-changing advancement in program acquisition and supply chain risk management assurance? Can IBM Watson be taught the deep semantics of program acquisition and supply chain risk management assurance? Teaching IBM Watson supply chain risk management assurance involves two parts. Part A, preparation, involves assembling a supply chain domain database along with the factors and sources of risk that may become problems in preparation for a preliminary question-answer dialogue with IBM Watson, intended to teach IBM Watson. Part B, application, involves instantiating the database with an actual supply chain of interest, including all nodes, in preparation for a realistic question-answer dialogue with IBM Watson, intended to actually inform supply chain users. Teaching IBM Watson. Plan A, preparation. Load all industry, government, and academic documents and standards on supply chain, acquisition, risk management, and assurance. Identify software and supply chain risk management assurance factors, such as the 28 factors in the Essentials of Software and Supply Chain Risk Management Assurance Framework. Load all industry, government, and academic documents and standards on the software and supply chain risk management assurance factors identified. For each factor, enter into a question-answer dialogue with IBM Watson using the evidence-based assurance assertion argument assessment questions in the Essentials of Software and Supply Chain Risk Management Assurance Framework. Teaching IBM Watson. Part B, Application. Select an actual supply chain of real interest, such as a weapons system in progress, an acquisition in preparation, or the Affordable Care Act website. Load all acquisition and program documents, reports, and data for each node in the supply chain, including Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. For each factor, enter into a question-answer dialogue with IBM Watson using the evidence-based assurance assertion argument assessment questions in the Essentials of Software and Supply Chain Risk Management Assurance Framework. Examples of evidence-based assurance assertion argument assessment questions for selected factors for use in the IBM Watson dialogue are shown here. Additional YouTube resources for supply chain risk management assurance are listed here. Here is my contact information. I would be happy to receive questions and have discussions with people on this important subject.